Protesters have toppled the statue of Sir John A MacDonald in Gore Park. It all happened after a peaceful rally for unity in front of City Hall earlier today, where members of the Indigenous community and allies gathered to protest City Council's decision to keep the statue. Emily Tayler joins us live at Gore Park with more. Emily.
Hi, Nicole. I'm standing here in Gore Park, where just hours ago, protesters toppled and graffitied the statue of Sir John A MacDonald, which normally stands tall here in Gore Park. There was actually videos of them knocking off his nose with a hammer. The city has since recovered the statue. As you can see, it's no longer behind me here, and they're not really sure what they're going to do with it yet at this point. Even though the statue is no longer here, as you can see, I'll step out of the frame here, the orange ribbons and cedar are still all over the stand here, and the stand is still graffitied at this point. Painted red, tied in rope, and covered in cedar and orange ribbon to represent the lives lost in Indigenous residential schools. That's how the statue of Sir John A MacDonald, Canada's first Prime Minister and an architect of the residential school system, ended up after a rally for the Indigenous community in Hamilton at City Hall.
They just went up there and did it fast.
Yeah, they had cloths around it, and we basically couldn't see anything except for the ropes and the person up there, and then it rocked a bit, and then it was down. It was lots of cheering.
It happened after the first annual Unity Rally. Around 200 Indigenous community members and allies gathered to listen to speakers, songs, and drum circles. The group walked through the streets, temporarily blocking off Main Street and heading to Gore Park. The rally was in protest of City Council's recent 12-3 vote to keep the statue until further consultations could be done, despite the opposition of Indigenous leaders.
The fact that the City of Hamilton has so blatantly dismissed Indigenous voices is shameful and disgraceful. They want us to continue to engage in these consultative processes, and it's exhausting.
Many speakers at the rally said removing the statue would have been an easy step for council to take.
The removal of the statue was really simple action for the city to take. If the simple request to remove it to a museum, to storage, to an archive could not happen, how are we supposed to have faith that the city is truly committed to reconciliation? This is faith I surely do not have.
The statue has been a lightning rod of controversy for years, having been vandalized and spray painted with red hands several times. But it recently came back into the spotlight, following the recovery of now thousands of unmarked graves at residential schools across the country.
When I see that statue in Gore Park, downtown Hamilton, I am reminded of my mother's experience in those institutions, and I am triggered and my trauma surfaces.
City Councillor Narinder Nan, who voted to remove the statue, was in attendance today. She was one of 2 councillors at the rally.
I was surprised not to see more of my colleagues around the table here present witnessing. I think it's the least that we can do when we're invited to participate and listen to a community who feels their voices need to be heard by council.
Hamilton's Mayor Fred Eisenberger wasn't at the rally today, but says he was unaware it was taking place. He strongly condemned the protesters for toppling the statue.
And we do understand and appreciate that there are concerns around many issues in the city of Hamilton, around monuments or buildings or other issues, but it doesn't allow people to take actions into their own hands.
Police did come and tape off the area after the statue was toppled. They also say they're investigating to see who did this. At this point, an officer that I spoke to said they're looking at charges of mischief and vandalism. Back to you.